Hold on a second. Got stand issues here.
I'm starting on beat 2.
Okay, there we go.
I'm starting on beat 2.
Okay. Now I'm good.
Who's going to count it?
How about this? How about we let James sort of like set the tempo, and then you come in. A 1, a 2, you know what to do. Banana split for my baby, a glass of plain water for me. Banana split for my baby, a glass of plain water for me. Dispenser man, if you please, serve my chick a mess of calories. Banana split for my baby, and a glass of plain water for me. Flip back the lid, scoop everything in sight. Make it a rainbow of red, brown, and white. Drown it in fudge, about 16 cans. Oh, I forgot the page turn. And a glass plain water for me. Spread the whipped cream for at least an hour. Pile it high as the Eiffel Tower. Loaded with the nuts, about 16 tons. Top it with a pizza just for fun. Banana split for my baby, and a glass of plain water for me. Banana split for my baby, and a glass of plain water for me. Banana split for my baby. See, we've missed each other again. That was supposed to be going on to C. So we did B twice. Okay, here, shall we start it right at C? Yeah, I know. Oh, here we go. Rehearsal marking C. I can't hear y'all. What? I'll make a copy. I'll go downstairs and I'll make a copy. Okay. You want to read over me?
Let's see.
Right there.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Banana split for my baby, and a glass of plain water for me. Banana split for my baby, and a
Good morning, everyone. For opening words this morning, I'd like to share a piece written by my colleague, the Reverend Gretchen Haley. She writes, "There is too much beauty in this world to give up on it yet, and it is always too soon to surrender to cynicism. So bring your doubt, your skepticism, your downright confusion, even your bitterness. But in the midst of all these, in the center, wrap your tender fingers around that still, bright thread of hope. Feel in your heart that still, steady hunger for something more, the vision we glimpse every day in the rising sun, the light that spreads across the face of the ones we love, the look of knowing all there is to know about what is and still choosing to love life, love one another, just as it is, just as we are. For this hour, we come to celebrate, to praise, to give thanks, to refuse to give up, to steady ourselves, keepers of hope, brave builders of this still possible world. Come, let us worship together.
Love your help in singing the chorus for this one. It goes like this. Hey, you can sit by me, you can sit by me. Let's try that together. Hey, you can sit by me, you can sit by me. And then the second time it goes, hey, you can sit by me, you can sit by me. Hey, you can sit by me, you can sit by me. Exactly, you got it. Have you ever been the new kid at your school? Showing up on the first day, not sure where to go or what to do? Have you ever walked into a brand new classroom? You look around, look down at the ground, wishing someone would say to you, hey, you can sit by me, you can sit by me. Hey, you can sit by me, you can sit by me. Hey, you can sit by me, you can sit by me. Hey, you can sit by me, you can sit by me. Have you ever been the old kid at your school? You know your way around town pretty well, maybe you've never moved. Have you ever watched a new kid walk into your classroom? They could be your new best friend, so you decide to be brave and say to them, hey, you can sit by me, you can sit by me. Hey, you can sit by me, you can sit by me. That's great. Hey, you can sit by me, you can sit by me. Hey, you can sit by me, you can sit by me. Have you ever watched someone standing around all by themselves? You feel like you want to reach out, but just not sure how you can help. You're having fun, relaxing at lunch with all your friends around. You decide to be brave, so you stand up and wave as you wave your voice and shout, hey, you can sit by me, you can sit by me. You got it. Hey, you can sit by me, you can sit by me. Hey, you can sit by me, you can sit by me. Hey, you can sit by me, you can sit by me. Hey, you can sit by me, you can sit by me. Hey, you can sit by me, you can sit by me. Hey, you can sit by me, you can sit by me. Hey, you can sit by me, you can sit by me. Hey, you
Today, our Sunshine Circle lead, Andrea Center, and her sons, Jacob and Jackson, will lead our chalice lighting.
Good morning. Good morning. The flaming chalice is the symbol of the Unitarian Universalist tradition, the liberal religious tradition to which this congregation belongs. Will those of you here in person please stand as you are able for our chalice lighting? If you have a chalice at home, I invite you to light it with me at this time. As we kindle this flame, we recommit ourselves to nurturing the spirits of one another and the common good of the world we share. May the light of this flame be welcoming to all who seek a liberal religious home.
I invite you to remain standing for our opening hymn, number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. Please be seated. Good morning again. I am the Reverend Dr. Elizabeth Stevens, and I am the lead minister here at UUFR. Are all y'all gonna do that every Sunday for the next 15 years? Whether this is your first or your 1,000th Sunday with us, and whether you strolled, rolled, zoomed, ran, or danced in, we are glad you chose to join us. We are one people of many beliefs, identities, origins, sexualities, and genders. So whoever you are, wherever you've come from, whatever your faith or lack thereof, and whomever you love, all are welcome here. The UU Fellowship of Raleigh is an intentionally inclusive, liberally religious community actively serving the common good of our shared world. This morning, one of our lay ministers will be available in the front right corner of the sanctuary after the service to talk with anyone who might be experiencing any difficult circumstances in their lives and would like to talk to someone. I hope all of you will read through the chalice you received by email on Friday to catch up on everything that's happening around here at UUFR. And also the upcoming events section of our website is a good source for information. In particular, I'd like to get on your radar that we have a big weekend coming up. September 12th to 13th, we'll see the return of Saturday socials. We'll go back to 2 services. That's important to pay attention to. And we'll have our annual in-gathering water communion. That's also the Sunday I will deliver the message for the first time as your called minister. Everybody keeps asking, when are you going to preach? When are you going to preach? Okay, I'm getting there. Our in-person social hour this morning will be downstairs in Founders Hall, and we hope you will join us there. Not just for coffee and snacks today, but also ice cream sundaes. Let's take a minute now to meet and greet our neighbor. Yes, okay. All right, friends. I know we could do that all morning long, but we have other things we need to do, like blessing some backpacks. How many of you are heading back to school tomorrow? Okay. And have any of you already started school? Okay. And who's homeschooled? Okay, we have some of you too. Is anyone feeling a little sad that summer is almost over? Is anyone feeling excited that it's back to school time? Is anyone feeling just a little bit nervous or scared? Yeah. You know, it's okay and really normal to feel more than one way. It's always an adjustment when school starts back up in the fall. You know, you have to get up early again. You can't wear your pajamas all day. You have to follow all kinds of boring rules. And the time gets filled up not just with school itself, but with activities and homework. And those might be some reasons why we might be feeling a little bit sad. But the start of a new school year also means we get to see old friends, we get to make new friends, we get to learn new things, we get to try new things, so there's a lot to be excited about. And anytime we start something new, we're bound to feel a little nervous. Are any of you wondering, will I be in the same class as my friends? Are you wondering if you're going to make new friends? If you're going to like your teacher? Or if your teacher will like you? Are you worried that your classes will be too hard or too easy? Are you a little worried that they're going to serve that gross mystery meat stuff in the cafeteria? So for all of those reasons and to hold all of those feelings, we're going to do a blessing of the backpacks this morning. So now is the time, if you brought your backpack or any other kind of bag, to bring it forward. And both children and adults can participate. We're going to make a big pile of them right here on the stairs.
Did you get your backpack? You can go sit down for right now.
Oh my God, they're adorable. They're adorable. I know. That is a lot of bags and backpacks. I hope we have enough of our magic stuff to scoop into all of them. Okay. So today, we have before us backpacks and bags to be carried to and from school and work by children, youth, and adults in this congregation. Over the coming days and months, these bags will carry books to read, problems to solve, pictures drawn, projects started and finished, tablets, laptops, and gadgets galore. They will likely contain lunches and snacks, and then probably wrappers and crumbs. Some days they'll feel a little heavy, and some days they'll be very light. But right now, what we want to do is put a few more things inside all of these bags. You won't be able to see these things, but I promise they will stay inside, stuffed way down deep so they won't fall out all year long. Dana and Catherine are going to help me by putting our magic stuff inside. The first thing we're putting in is our faith in all of you, our belief in you. We hope that this school year will be absolutely wonderful, but we also know that all of us, once in a while, face challenges. Sometimes we have to learn something difficult, like how to divide fractions or how to speak Chinese. Sometimes we come up against personal challenges, like having a disagreement with a friend or getting in trouble with a teacher. Sometimes the challenge is to stand up for what's right, which is never easy to do. But all of us here in this congregation have faith in you. We believe in your ability to solve whatever problems you face in this coming year, especially with a little help from your friends, your parents, and all of the other people who care about you. So, we get them all? We have scooped faith into all of these backpacks. Okay. The second thing we're putting in is our hope. Our hope for all of you. We're putting inside our hope that this school year will be absolutely wonderful. We're putting inside our hope that you'll make lots of friends, learn many new things, and develop all sorts of skills that will help you throughout your life. Hope's sticky that way. So it'll get nestled into all of the nooks and crannies. Okay, we good?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay, the final thing we're putting in the backpacks is our love. Wherever you take these backpacks and other bags this school year, we want you to remember that you are beautiful and wonderful and worthy of love just exactly as you are. And so is everyone you meet. So you can share our love and care with whoever you meet this new school year. Because the more we love and care for others, the more love and care flows back to us. Kindness magnifies kindness. So we've put 3 sticky things into your bags and backpacks: our hope for you, our belief in you, and our love and care for you. They might feel just a little bit heavier now, but not much, because hope and faith and love are pretty light to carry. Dana is now going to give all of our children and youth directions about picking up their backpacks and where they need to go next. And any adults can also come up and pick up their backpacks and bags.
All right, so yeah, we're going to do this. This is like an interesting little dance we're going to do.
Chaos.
A little bit of chaos. So we're going to have kids, once we're ready, we're going to have our kids come up one at a time to grab their backpacks, and then we'll do dismissal. Let's do it that way. So if you are if you are 6 years old or under, could you please come up and grab your bag? You'll be our first ones to go grab bags. Or a teen assistant, apparently. 3 of our teen assistants put their shoes out because they forgot their bags. If your child is from 1st grade to 5th grade, could they please come up and grab their bags? First through 5th grade. All right. If you are through 6th through 12th grade, could you come up and grab your bags? 6th through 12th graders, come and grab your bags. And if you are a learner that is 12th grade or older, come on and grab your bag. Wonderful. Now let's do a dismissal, okay. So if your child is 4 through 6 years old, they're going to go to Sunshine Circle. You'll see the Sunshine Circle banner is coming across that back row with Miss Andrea. You're going to meet over in that doorway right there if you are a 4 through 6-year-old for Sunshine Circle. 4 through 6-year-olds over there. Now, today is a special because we are actually going to work on a special project that will involve 1st through up to 12th grade, really. You could go over there 1st through 12th grade and help us because we are going to create the most valuable coin ever made because it has our UU values on it. So we're going to make a bunch of these to go in our backpacks, and also you will find treasure chests around campus where anyone can go and grab one of these very valuable coins to put in your wallet or in your purse or in your bag. So any 1st through 12th graders that would like to join are welcome to come over to that corner. Final thing, if you are a parent and realizing that your child is in 5th grade or lower and you did not sign them in, please follow so you can sign them in for safety purposes. Will you join me now in singing Go Now in Peace?
Good morning. My name is Erin Krupa. I use she, her pronouns, and I am a brand new board member. I will be downstairs at social hour after the worship service. If you have any questions you'd like to ask me about the board, talk to me about any concerns you have, or just say hi. Just know I've had one training and one lovely retreat this weekend. Everything we do at UUFR is only possible because of the generous financial support so many of us provide. For those of you who have set up automated giving to UUFR or who send in a check by mail every month, I'd like to thank you now for your generosity. If you would like to make a contribution in person this morning, we invite you to bring it forward and put it in one of our offering plates. If you would prefer to have an usher come to you, please raise your hand. You may also give using one of the methods on our screen. Our offering will now be given and gratefully received. This is the time in our service when we acknowledge some of the joys and sorrows our community is holding. We do this because we believe a joy shared is made greater and a sorrow shared is eased. Today we light a candle, as we did last week, on behalf of Becky Elliott and Emilio Sobral, remembering the people in Indiana where the derecho and tornadoes have devastated the area. They're still without electricity over a week later. Yards are trashed, crops are flattened, businesses and restaurants are closed, and FEMA is completely ineffectual. We also light a candle on behalf of Lauren, whose cousin Andrea has been diagnosed with terminal cancer and took a turn for the worst. So we hold her in our thoughts, as well as her husband and their 2 kids, as they're preparing to say goodbye. Scarlett Smith. Scarlett Smith wishes her grandmother could have her brain cancer healed. And former member Andy Wasilewski had to have a second above-the-knee amputation this last week. He's fighting an infection and is hurting, so please hold Andy and his family in our hearts. That's from Cherry Block and Dan Steer. Then we have a joy from Becky Harper, whose son David Harper graduated with a BA in Aviation Management from Embry-Riddle University after more than 15 years of mostly online coursework while serving in the United States Air Force. Linda Watson is joyful after the board retreat to be working with all of the members of this year's board. And Ishan D says, school is both a joy and a sorrow. As we hold these shared joys and sorrows in our hearts and reflect on the joys and sorrows, fears and hopes in our own lives, let us be together in stillness and silence, opening ourselves to that spirit within us and amidst us, called by many names but known to every human heart, that leads to a fuller, deeper, richer experience of life. After the silence, we'll sing, "Be Still and Breathe." But for now, let's rest in stillness and silence. Amen. Our reading this morning is by William Ellery Channing, The Great End in Religious Instruction. The great end in religious instruction is not to stamp our minds upon the young, but to stir up their own.
Not to make them see with our own eyes, but to look inquiringly and steadily with their own.
Not to give them a definite amount of knowledge, but to inspire a fervent love of truth.
Not to form an outward regularity, but to touch inward springs.
Not to bind them by ineradicable prejudices to our particular sect or peculiar notions,
but to prepare them for impartial, conscientious judging of whatever subjects may be offered to their decision.
not to burden the memory, but to quicken and strengthen the power of thought.
Not to impose religion upon them in the form of arbitrary rules, but to awaken the conscience, the moral discernment.
In a word, the great end is to awaken the soul, to excite and cherish spiritual life.
Deep inside all
with backpack blessing, I think a little bit about all the good deal of time I spent striving for academic achievements as a teenager. In middle school, I strategized on how I could leapfrog my way into honors levels classes, which turned into meticulously tending to my grade point average in high school. Unlike basketball, where I struggled to remember which way was home court, schoolwork was a game I felt I could win, even if it meant sometimes calling my parents to have them drive over my math homework I forgot to put in my backpack. So I think that my 14-year-old self would have been shocked to learn that just 6 years later, I would suddenly decide to drop out of school. At 20, I was studying at a music conservatory because, you see, my other teenage pastime was striving to become an opera singer. I was very cool. I spent 2 summers at a fancy art camp to study vocal technique and music theory. I took weekly voice lessons with a professor. I had leads in operas, or Gilbert and Sullivan operettas. And this is the most absurd part. At one point, I even briefly had private Italian diction lessons. It is enormous how much of a privilege that was to have that opportunity to be so immersed in music. It was beautiful, but of course there was a shadow side to all of this. Because as a teen, it was really only at my Unitarian Universalist church on Sunday mornings that I could remember I was actually whole and complete just as I was. The rest of the time, that UU theology didn't really translate back home, and certainly not into high school. I actually remember from my childhood having the hardest time with the Unitarian Universalist covenant where we affirmed the inherent worthiness and dignity of every person. I couldn't feel this applied to me. My worth needed to be earned, and I decided I was going to earn it through singing. And so I went to a music school that had this motto, eat, sleep, music. It was really full of wonderfully inspiring people, some of who I'm still deeply connected to today. I started having these caring friendships, and for the first time, I had a daily sense of belonging to a community of my peers, and began to feel my worth even if I wasn't on a stage. As I started to build community, I realized I might not actually be passionate in the same way as my friends. I didn't want to learn about vocal technique, and sight singing was so hard it made me nauseous. Truly, I would go to the bathroom in between classes and just sit there. Oof. And I really could not actually get excited about how to pronounce things correctly in Italian. And so there was one cold December night at the end of my 3rd semester, and I sat very frustrated in the library. I was trying to figure out how to use this clunky music notation software for a final project. And I was tired and starting to get maybe resentful of all of the completed assignments I kept striving to do successfully. And in this moment, I had a tiny, small voice inside of me say, "You don't actually have to do this." And suddenly, I knew it was true. I didn't have to do this. 6 years of walking down a path, and suddenly, this half-second flicker of some deep truth buried inside corrected my direction. What a wonderful, little mysterious thing that small voice inside of us can be. My favorite hymn, one of them, my favorite is Voice Still and Small. The words feel really perfect. Voice still and small, deep inside all, I hear your call singing. In dark and rain, sorrow and pain, still you remain singing. Now, I can be a fairly indecisive person. If you go to a donut shop with me, I'm obnoxious to be behind. But there are these moments, like this one back in December 2007. Maybe we could even call it a sacred moment when a voice still and small sings to us. gives us wisdom that was buried inside of us, but for some mysterious reason, we can finally hear clearly for the first time. I actually think that our Unitarian Universalist faith has a really compelling edge right here in our relationship to this voice, still and small. Our theology proclaims that this voice from deep inside of us is our guide to the divine. The divinity of our inner voice is baked into the origins of our faith. American Unitarianism was born as a rebuttal to traditionally held views of congregational churches called predeterminism. Predeterminism put forth that each person was born at birth, already determined to either be a good person, destined for salvation, or evil and destined for hell. Nothing you could do to change it. In the early 1800s, more liberal ministers in New England started to question this belief. Notably, the man who is considered the founder of American Unitarianism, William Channing. He saw salvation differently. He wrote, "To gain salvation in the highest meaning of the word means to raise your fallen spirit, cure the sick soul, give it back its freedom of thought, conscience, and love." To give back our spirit its freedom of thought, conscience, and love. What a beautiful description for this voice that our faith's founder proclaimed was at the core of our theology, and he would have argued back then at the core of Jesus' teachings. 200 years later, my Unitarian Universalist upbringing gave me a trust in this voice. This notion that in fact, all of us have the ability to discern for ourselves what is both true and meaningful. And yet, if I think back, I'm not certain I was given a clear path for how to listen regularly to this voice. At 18, I didn't leave the Unitarian Universalist Church of the North Hills having built any spiritual practice or spiritual muscle to regularly connect with what I needed and where I wanted to go. I think this might be because our faith has always been an excellent home for intellectual exploration and debates, but we might not always be as comfortable holding space for learning that comes from listening more deeply to ourselves. Pew Research says that Unitarian Universalists are more likely than almost any denomination to commit themselves to graduate and doctoral degrees, but I don't think we commit ourselves as easily to regular spiritual practice. We can excel at opening our minds, but we might not be as easily knowledgeable on how to go about growing our spirits. In light of this, I worry our faith has not historically cultivated enough spaces to support one another in connecting with our inherent wisdom. And I want to be clear, this is also a growth area for me. Our family ministry program has a lot of room to grow in this area. There's a lot of learning to do about balancing the nourishment of our minds and our hearts and our spirits. As a lifelong UU, I am very comfortable lingering maybe too long in my comfort zone of engaging in more heady conversations, rather than holding space for these still and small voices inside of us that can be harder to hear. And I also see that here at UUFR, we are creating beautiful pathways for deeper listening, and I think we're doing it well. I started to notice this several years ago when I had the opportunity to take a 2-hour small Zoom introduction to Soul Matters trainings. Soul Matters is the program we use for our small group ministry called Chalice Circles. It was a 2-hour Zoom training. I wasn't expecting much, but I was caught off guard with the theological depth it provided. Soul Matters Chalice Circles are built on the foundation that Unitarian Universalism is a religion calling us to reconnect with life by listening more deeply to ourselves and the world around us. Thus, in Chalice Circles, we gather not to debate or necessarily just share stories from our lives,
but actually primarily to quiet ourselves so that we can discern what matters most to us by deeply listening to ourselves and one another. I can attest to the power of this work from the passion of my campus ministry for these monthly discernment practices. These discussions have given students at NC State a chance to let go of the intellectual gymnastics of schoolwork and rediscover the truth and meaning that can be found in their own personal experiences. After engaging with Chalice Circle practices regularly, I started seeing other pathways for deeper listening to ourselves that our community offers. I barely have a crafty bone in my body. But under Doreen Clark's masterful guidance of soul collage, I have found a way to use scissors and glue and magazine clippings to reveal different parts of myself that I needed to see more clearly. These were parts of myself that I found hard to put into words, but I could start to know more deeply through art. And gosh darn it, right behind the stage right here at UUFR, we have a huge walking labyrinth, a beautiful pathway of intricate circular loops that allows for walking meditation. For many Saturday socials, we've cleared the sanctuary floor to make space for this 800-foot path. Moving one foot in front of the other in silence, you slowly make your way to the center of the labyrinth. But because of the windy path, you have to let go of knowing how many more steps it will take until the end. And instead, you have to sink into the present moment. I'm such a fan of Labyrinth, I even got one tattooed on my arm 9 years ago. I also think that family ministry is starting to create more of these opportunities as well. My favorite high school program is called Coming of Age. This is a year-long UU tradition that has been a part of our faith formation for decades, similar to confirmation or bar mitzvah. To come of age as a Unitarian Universalist, youth engage in deeper reflections on their values and beliefs. We don't tell them information, but we give them important questions to help them listen more deeply to their own wisdom. And we actually get to hear that wisdom at the end of the year because it all culminates in our youth sharing their credos or their belief statements that they craft with the whole congregation. But even way before that, as early as preschool, we share a deceptively simple tradition that I've come to learn is one of the sweetest ways to teach deep listening. Almost every Sunday, our preschool to college students gather in a circle to share their joys and sorrows over candlelight, about winning hockey games, grandmas visiting, birthdays coming up, fighting with friends, hard school projects. Now, if you are like me, you may be tempted to try this at dinner time with your family. Making space to ask everyone to share their joys and sorrows and roses and thorns, it's a beautiful idea. But you might also be like me and have family members who quite frankly find that kind of thing at dinner annoying and would rather instead make fart jokes. And this actually includes my husband. Zen Buddhists like him, apparently, are more interested in deep listening when they can be completely silent. But one of the joys of my job is I actually get to see something that parents don't get to see. When my 9-year-old snarky, eye-rolling daughter gathers in a circle with her peers over in Peace Hall for Chalice Chapel, she's actually starting to open up, and she is fully present for listening. Gathering in the warmth of community, our children and teens hold space for one another and, in turn, space for themselves. I'm embarrassed it took me several years to actually understand the power of this ritual. It wasn't until a Wednesday night in our first year of campus ministry. We did not have a room to meet, so we gathered in a booth around a little tiny electric candle in a crowded Tally student union. And in that noisy chaos, we started sharing. I thought it was like a nice way just to check in and see how people were doing. But as one student began talking about a challenge they were facing, they made this eye contact with me. And in that moment, my body became very quiet as I realized how sacred this moment of connection was. That we were gathered together, giving each person our undivided attention as they brought forth the important moments that had shaped their weeks. Deeply listening to one another's celebrations and challenges and holding their joys and sorrows in our hearts together. This is such an enormous gift, not only to others, but ourselves. As young people in our fellowship are getting ready or starting to return back to school, I believe that more than ever, they need to continue finding moments to listen to their inherent wisdom. As Reverend Channing said, our community is here not to stamp our minds upon the young, but to stir up their own, not to form outward regularity, but to touch inward springs. Together, may we continue to cultivate pathways for touching that inward spring, that inner voice each of us possesses in the warmth and wisdom of our community. May it be so.
Yeah. I invite you to say with me the words to embody our chalice flame. Oop. Do you want to put it out? Oh, yeah, I do. We extinguish this chalice that it might glow gently in our hearts. May it light our path as we leave this place. May it guide our way until we are together again. To close, I offer these words by Mary Oliver. The Spirit likes to dress up like this, 10 fingers, 10 toes, shoulders, and all the rest. At night, in the black branches, in the morning, in the blue branches of the world. It could float, of course, but would rather plumb rough matter. Airy and shapeless thing, it needs the metaphor of the body. Lime and appetite, the oceanic fluids. It needs the body's world, instinct and imagination, and the dark hug of time, sweetness, and tangibility. To be understood, to be more than pure light that burns where no one is. So it enters us in the morning, shines from brute comfort like a stitch of lightning, and at night lights up the deep and wondrous drownings of the body like a star.
Now, to help us move from the reverent to the fun, here is banana split for my baby. Let's get ready for ice cream. Banana split for my baby, a glass of plain water for me. Banana split for my baby, a glass of plain water for me. Dispenser man, if you please, serve my chick a mess of calories. Banana split for my baby, and a glass of plain water for me. Flip back the lid, scoop everything in sight. Make it a rainbow of red, brown, and white. Chocolate chip and everything that's nice. Tutti frutti once and spumoni twice. Banana split for my baby, and a glass of plain water for me. Spread the whipped cream for at least an hour. Pile it as high as the Eiffel Tower. Loaded with nuts, about 16 ton. Top it with a pizza just for fun. Banana split for my baby, and a glass of plain water for me. Banana split for my baby, and a glass of plain water for me. Banana split for my baby, and a glass of plain water for me. Stock her up with crazy goo, 'cause that's the stuff she likes to wade right through. Banana split for my baby, a glass of plain water for me. Now the cherry's the kind she loves too much. Skip one banana, use the whole darn bunch. Drown it in fudge, about 6 or 7 cans. Give her 2 spoons, she'll eat it with both hands. Banana split for my baby, and a glass of plain water for me. Separate checks, it must be. Charge the split to her, the water to me. Oh, the banana split's for my baby, and the glass of plain water's for me. Ain't got no money, the glass of plain water's for me.